Hi, this is Angela Skirtu, and my book, Helping Couples Overcome Infidelity, comes out January 28th, 2018. Today's video in the Infidelity series is talking about basically a treatment strategy for how to help couples work through infidelity. So, a lot of people are asking the question, who do I need to see? What's the best way to handle this situation? How am I going to get through this? And one thing you should look for in a therapist is somebody who takes more of a harm reduction approach and who really is willing to look at the broad scale of things. What does that mean? So it means that you can't just go to a therapist who is going to make the person who cheated a villain, because they're not a villain. That's the hard thing. Like, this is your partner. You love them. And while they made a mistake that is really painful, they aren't a villain. They're a person. They're a person who made a mistake. And so when it comes to treatment, you really have to look at everything. You have to look at the whole context of the situation. The therapist needs to look at the pros and cons of cheating and why that partner did cheat. And they need to look at the pros and cons of staying together if that's the choice that you guys are going to make. What does that look like? Well, so if you think of somebody who has a drinking problem, and this is just an example. This doesn't mean that somebody who cheats has a drinking problem or they're some sort of addict. I'm not saying that 100%. But I'm using it as an example, so let's go down this path. So when somebody makes the decision to stop drinking, if they only look at the negative aspects of drinking, then they're probably not going to stick to their plan. So usually somebody makes the decision to stop drinking after some big thing happens, like a big consequence that really can affect their lives. With good reason, that would be why I could understand somebody ending their drinking. But the problem is that it doesn't fix it to only look at the negative aspects. There are some positive aspects to drinking that people like. People like to get high and feel a little buzz. Some people get a little energy when they drink and they like to, I don't know, do chores or write, or like there's a whole group of people that like to get drunk or like to have a buzz. And so if you don't look at the positive aspects of that alcohol experience and what they would be missing if they quit drinking, then the person, when they are having a rough time, will seek out that drinking when they're needing those positive aspects. And so the more balanced approach is to look at what positive things they get out of drinking and then find ways outside of alcohol to offer those positive things so they can still have joy in their life, essentially. Well, the same is true with an infidelity. When somebody cheats, there's something they get positively out of that experience. Maybe it's a feeling of awakening, I woke. It reminds me of that movie where they say they woke, right? Like, there's something about an infidelity that makes people feel alive and makes them excited and makes it feel like things are different. There's good in the world again. And so you have to look at the aspects of the infidelity that were positive, not to glorify infidelity, because obviously infidelity hurts the partner who's cheated on, but to really get an idea of what aspects of the infidelity that were adding positive to their life are missing in their day-to-day life. And essentially finding ways in the marriage to incorporate some of those things, whether it be, I don't know, a seedy little sexting between the two in the relationship. Maybe they need something a little exciting and dirty, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's exploring, I don't know, new places, new experiences. I've talked about this in a previous video, but the routine of marriage can get overwhelming. It can get boring. And so if there is too much routine, then how do we add some spontaneity? How do we make the world a better place in their marriage? So essentially they're getting those needs met, not in the infidelity, but in their actual relationship. And so when you're looking for a therapist, it's really important to find somebody who has the courage to explore those things, while also who also has the ability to be very supportive of the person who's listening, because it's actually very painful still to hear this information that, like, you got good things out of an infidelity, because all the partner who got cheated on gets is just devastation. And so there needs to be a great a balancing of both the positive aspects and the negative aspects of all the consequences that happen as a result of this infidelity, and then a mixing of the two and finding a way to sort through those feelings as a team with support. So this has been Angela Skirtu. If you need a therapist, I am www.therapistinstlouis.com. You don't have to be in the St. Louis area. I have people who will visit me from afar and do one of my weekend intensive sessions. So thank you, and again, please like, subscribe, or ask questions because I'm more than willing to answer.